Dunkin' Donuts pumpkin spice is something of an acquired taste. It's not really a coffee that I think I would reach to right off. This is a coffee that kind of has that sweetener added to it that you get at Dunkin' Donuts, like a splash of this flavor or that flavor, or you go to Starbucks and you get a splash of that. It doesn't taste like it really belongs, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. It feels like it's sweet, but it's not sweet. You can't really taste the coffee, is one of the things that really strikes me about it. And when I taste it, it tastes kind of bitter, but also too sweet for my liking. It doesn't really add up to a very pleasant taste, I don't think. It tastes okay after a few sips, but it really does take some getting acclimated to. I feel like I'm struggling to drink it, which, that's probably not what you want from a coffee, but as I keep drinking it, it's not so bad. But that first sip is probably the biggest hurdle in drinking a cup of Dunkin' Donuts pumpkin spice. I better polish this one off. I got 2 more cups of coffee to go after this. So what do you say we upturn this one and get it down the hatch, guys? Dunkin' Pumpkin Spice actually kind of grows on you the more you drink it, because my first cup I didn't really think that much of it, but now that I'm on my second cup of it, this is tasting a lot better. It's absolutely something that you have to get used to, and now that I've gotten used to its sweetness, I feel like I can finally enjoy the coffee. I can finally taste the coffee underneath all that sweetness. So I still don't know that I would call it my favorite coffee ever, but I do feel like I'm really enjoying it now that I've gotten a taste for it. And also it fills the air with a very pleasant aroma. Now that I've had a couple of cups now of pumpkin spice, the air is being filled with that pumpkin-filled aroma that smells just like the coffee taste almost, and I kind of like that because it's made this area where maybe it doesn't smell so pleasant all the time smell a lot nicer, so that's another plus to drinking Dunkin's pumpkin spice. If I'm being completely honest, as I'm drinking this coffee, I think that the aroma is better than the taste is. The taste isn't awful, but the aroma I think is much, much better than the actual coffee is by far. I gotta hand it to this coffee. In terms of the aroma, it really captures the essence of fall. It feels like, now that I've got this whiff of pumpkin in my nostrils, that fall is really here. But there is that taste, and I don't know, man. The aftertaste is kind of syrupy, I guess is the word that comes to mind. It's not bad on the second cup. It's worse on the first cup, but there is kind of a syrupy aftertaste that comes along with this pumpkin spice blend. If you support what I do, please click subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single video of mine when it comes out. Thankfully, I am starting to like this one, so it's not going to be too hard for me to get through the second cup. So why don't I work through the rest of this one, get myself a third cup, and then we'll offer up some final thoughts on Dunkin's pumpkin spice. That's kind of hot. Dunkin' Pumpkin Spice is definitely a coffee that I think is worth checking out because It's one that maybe is not super pleasant right off the bat, but it definitely gets better as you go along. And the aftertaste is something that feels very smooth to me. I think that the sweetness of the pumpkin spice balances out whatever bitterness there is to Dunkin's coffee. I kind of like this better than Dunkin's regular coffee, believe it or not. And I do drink a lot of their regular blend, so that surprised me. I wound up not enjoying this one at first, but the more I had it, the more I got acclimated to it, and it felt like the flavors inside of it went together better than they did at first. Now I feel like I kind of enjoy this and I wouldn't mind getting a little bit more of it because I'm on my penultimate cup right now and I'm really enjoying this. I think this is a great coffee to try if you're into the whole pumpkin spice flavor, but you want something that's maybe a little bit more on the affordable side because, you know, Dunkin' Donuts coffee is not really what you would call an upscale coffee. This is definitely more middle of the road type stuff, and if you want that flavor, here it is, and I think you should give it a shot at the very least. Because I went into it myself thinking, oh, pumpkin spice, oh yeah, that's a flavor for a dude like me. But I got past it and I tried it, and then well, here I am now, winding up telling you how much I enjoy it, right? Another nice bonus to this one is that even when it's cold, it's still very drinkable, and I don't find that to be the case necessarily with Dunkin's regular coffee. I don't feel like that coffee tastes particularly good when it's cold, but I often find myself drinking cold coffee because I'll be at it for however long doing something and then my coffee will wind up cold. And this, the pumpkin spice, fortunately, if it does get cold, it's still very drinkable. My final thought is don't go into this one expecting the moon because you're absolutely not going to get it with Dunkin' Pumpkin Spice. But I do think it's worth at least giving it a try and seeing what you think, especially if you're looking for that middle-of-the-road coffee with the pumpkin spice flavor. Well, Soulmates, what do you think of Dunkin' Pumpkin Spice? Is this a coffee that you have tried? Do you want to try it right now? Or are you just not that interested for whatever reason, maybe because it's pumpkin spice? I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I would love to hear from you. If you'd like to know more about the McDonald's Premium Roast Coffee, you can check out that video here, Soulmates.